So this will allow us to send a replay out to everyone tomorrow. So if you miss anything, or if you get distracted and have to go do something and leave the event for a second, don't worry. There will be a replay sent to your email tomorrow. Um, so a little bit about the tutorial. What it is a yarn tassel Christmas tree decoration. If you want to, show that up, very beautiful. Demonstrated by Caitlin from crochet.com. Plus, towards the end, we'll be doing a Dreambox tour, and there will be a giveaway winner announcement. So just a little technical thing. We love to see your faces as we're crafting along. I know if you joined Caitlin's live yesterday that I was a guest on, we talked about how fun it is to be able to craft together. So please, if you're okay with your camera being on as you craft, we'd love to see your face. And again, add your comments to the chat. We'll answer and keep our eyes on that.
And I do have somebody here from our side. Her name is Stacy. She said she was going to put her name in there as Stacy from, right there, from Stacy W. It's Stacy W. So she's in here. She's going to throw links in. So if you have any questions about the yarn or our side of things, we have an expert here who will make sure you get everything you need to know.
Yes, good point. We also have people joining from Create Room who will be doing the same. So
perfect. This
is a perfect time to ask any questions, whether it's crochet.com, Create Room, general crafting questions. This is the place. Yeah. So let's see. Oh, and in addition to, I forgot to mention, in addition to the giveaway, we also have some special discount codes and announcements that we'll be doing after the tutorial. So make sure you stick around through all of it. Remember that you do have to be present to win the giveaway. And I think that is about all that I have to say before we turn the time over to Caitlin to introduce yourself.
Yeah, okay, so we're ready?
Ready.
All right, so I'm Caitlin. I am from crochet.com, but I also am here representing Knit Picks and our other sister brand called Connecting Threads. So let's kind of just maybe run through it all. So what happened is the company, so we have a yarn side of our company and we have a fabric side of the company. And the yarn side started with Knit Picks about over 30 years ago. It was a husband and wife. They decided to start a business and they've been running this ever since. It's now passed on. They're still part of the business a little bit, but not as much. But anyway, they started it. We manufacture our own yarns, like you're not going to find them anywhere else. And then we have the Knit Picks brand, which is very focused on knitting. So your knitting tools, your knitting patterns, everything you can need for knitting. And then we have crochet.com, which is about 5 years old now. And that's focused on crochet. So you're going to have your patterns, you're going to have your hooks, you're going to have your tools specifically for crochet over there. You're going to notice some crossover in the yarns and things like that because you can use it for both. But we really wanted to create a home for each of those crafts. Then we also have our Connecting Threads brand, which also started from a family.
What happened?
Have this color match that it's an exact match. So if you look for the color tomato and you find tomato fabric and tomato thread, it's going to match perfectly. Like you don't have to worry about it when you're buying online. You know it's going to be that perfect match. And it's something that we've really strived for over there. So it's 3 amazing craft brands that you can go and check out along the way.
Oh, well, that is incredible. And
oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say thank you for telling us about all 3 of them. We did have one question already, if you don't mind, before we get into the craft.
Sure.
They're just wondering, does the yarn come in an organic thread, yarn, etc.?
So we have all different kinds of fiber types over on the website. We have acrylic, we have natural fibers, we have all different types of things. We have undyed fibers. So you can really go check it out and see what you're looking for. I'm sure we have something that is going to meet your needs. Yes, Stacy just put in there the Okotek yarns that we have, which are certified and things like that. So go take a look depending on what you're looking for. We definitely have a lot of options over there with different fiber types.
That's great. That's great to know. And a potential question, I'm sure, is what yarn is best for our project tonight?
Yeah, so for tonight, we're using our acrylic yarn, which is called Brava. Sorry, it's a little bright there. And so Brava is a 100% acrylic yarn. Let me get this right. It comes in 218 yards, and it's just a really super soft acrylic yarn that's really perfect for gifting and everything else because you don't have to worry about how are they going to wash it? What's going to happen if something gets on it? So it makes it really great. It's at a really affordable price. And so that's what we're going to use tonight. It comes in a whole bunch of different colors that you can pick from. I actually pulled a couple of the greens. So you can see there's all these different greens that you can pick from, plus a couple more that are on the website, depending on which color you want to go with.
Okay, awesome. Well, I think we're ready to get into the craft if you are all set.
Okay, sounds good. So before we switch over to like the table view here, I just want to let everybody know that we did put out the list of supplies that you're going to need, but we just took a basic frame. I actually got this at the Dollar Tree. It had some twine in it that I just like ripped off. And so it's just a piece of cardboard basically backing inside of a frame. I didn't want glass on it because this is textured and it sticks off. So that's something to think about, that whatever you're going to put it on, you probably don't want glass on it because it'll smush it, and you really want the texture of the tassels that we're going to be making.
Good
So
point.
I went and put all of my supplies in one of my in-view totes just to kind of keep everything organized, which I absolutely love. I'm definitely a person who likes to grab a tote and go, and then just kind of keep everything organized. So what we did first, and then we can switch down, is I took my frame apart and I painted it. And I did this because, you know, it has to dry and everything, but you know, you would do this. And I just did a line of my paint down it and then just used a paintbrush to kind of smear it back and forth to kind of give it a really organic look. So I thought as we kind of go into this, we can maybe do like a survey, or people could put in their answers and we'll see what they say. This one is held vertically. So should we do this one vertically, or should we do it horizontally? Let us know what you want to do, and we'll do this one together in that format, because the parts up to gluing it down, it doesn't matter. We can kind of do it as we go, but I thought that'd be fun. Do you want to go this way or this way as we do the project? Okay, do we want to flip over to the other camera?
Let's flip over, yes. And it looks like
Okay.
comments are coming in. There's a lot of votes for both. It almost seems like vertical may be winning.
Okay.
Um, just
We can we'll keep talking about it as we go.
okay.
So can you still hear me okay if I turn this way, or should I move the computer to hear it better?
The audio sounds pretty good for me.
Okay,
And
perfect.
comments they can hear as well.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn on over here just so that kind of starts getting ready. And I'll just set this over here. And so really what you need is you're gonna need your yarn. You're going to need some scissors, and then you also needed your paint and your paintbrush to kind of get this all together. But so we're going to pretend like we just painted it and it's drying, but it'll be mine. Let me bring this back over just so we can see. I put some words here at the top of mine. I just used some scrapbooking paper cutouts. So I have another one here if we want to use that, or if we want to go horizontal. I found these really cute wood ornaments that you could do as well. So like if you're doing this, you could glue it on this way and have your tree over here, or you can keep it this way and kind of put something at the top. So we'll kind of keep going and figure out what we want to do. But the first thing we need to do is we need to make our tassels. And for this particular project, I started with 4 here, then 3, then 2, then 1, and that kind of gave me that nice tree shape. The amount of tassels you need depends on your frame size and how big you want your tree. If this was wider, you would definitely want more tassels across the bottom, but we're just gonna go with what we have. So all you need to do is you're going to take your yarn and you're going to decide how big you want your tassels to be. So I have some examples here in our avocado color in case we wanted to use those tonight. And you can see that it's fairly a small tassel for what I've decided to do. And so for mine, I just took it around my first 3 fingers here. and I wrapped it 11 times. And it's only important to count so that they all look the same. I mean, really, if you're doing something different each time, it doesn't really matter. It's just you want them to be pretty uniform. And then you're going to cut off at the end. And you can either do this in the beginning or I just kind of do it as I go. I cut a longer strip, and this is what's going to be used to tie your tassel together. So once I have it here on my fingers, I'm going to slowly pull it off, pinching it here at the top so that I don't lose my, wraps here. I'm going to lay it on my string that I did. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to just tie a knot. And most of the time when you'd be doing this, you would probably be trying to get it right in the middle because you'd be making something like a pom-pom. But I want to keep it closer to the top here. And the reason is because I want to make sure that these extra strands are hanging down low. Then all you need to do is take your scissors, and I'm going to cut off these long pieces that I used to tie it. And then you're going to stick your scissors right in here through this hole, and you're just going to snip them. And it's really as easy as that. There's one tassel. And now the hard part is making all of them. And again, so I had 10 tassels to make this tree here. So if you want this similar size, you're going to need 10 tassels to be able to do that. Now we also have a star on the top of the tree, which you can get as a wood piece from a craft store, or you could paint it on, or whatever else you like. But so then once you have all of your tassels, you're ready to start actually gluing it down. Like, guys, it's that easy and that quick. Like, you can have these gifts done really, really fast. The hardest part, or the longest part, is pretty much getting this paint dry on here. So did we decide if we're going to go horizontal or vertical?
So there's been votes for both. The horizontal could be fun. A lot of people like that wood decal that you have, maybe put to the side if you did horizontal, and then there's the option to see both of them.
All right, let's try it this way because we already have the one example that we can kind of keep looking at, and it's the exact same process of what we're going to do. It's just really the placement of what's happening. So you're also going to need a stick. You can go get that, just out in the woods or whatever else, or, at a park or something like that. And you're going to need a star of some sort. So what I like to do is I like to actually put my back inside my frame. And the reason I like to do this is because it allows me to line up where my stick or my stem is going to go. And it allows me to line up where my words are going to go. I'm actually going to put my words on the right and my tree on the left. I don't know, just feels right. But so it allows you to line it up, because if you didn't have it on and your frame covers over any of your backing, you might run into trouble with how high you go and where your star is, and things like that. So I do also lay my star on. Now, I didn't glue anything down yet. And I start to just kind of eyeball what I want to do. And again, I put my star on so that as I start to glue on, I can see how high I'm able to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to start here with our tree stem. And I just put one bead of glue down the middle. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it where I want. Now, you could be a lot more precise than this, but for me, that's part of the fun of crafting, is just kind of going with it. And then we'll kind of play it by ear as we go. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to lay out my tassels, because I want to see how many I want to use, see what placement I want. And so because I'm doing this in a different direction, I might only go with 3 as my base. Let's see what that looks like. So I have 3, then I have 2, then I have 1. So it's kind of a short tree. Let's see what happens. I have extras already made here. So let's see what happens when we do it with 4 across the bottom. So here, if we do 4 and 3, 2 and 1, I still have plenty of room to be able to add my star in there, and then it looks a lot fuller, and we'll kind of fix it as we go. But I think we're going to go with all 10, even in this format. Okay, so once I know how many I'm going to do, I start with my bottom row. And I actually start with the 2 right here. And the reason I do that is because I want to make sure that I get it close enough to my stem that it kind of overlaps, that you're not like seeing this big gap or anything. And I'm also going to look at my tassel because the side that I tied it on is the side I want to go on the back. And all I do is I put a little bit of glue right there, and I just glue it on to my picture. And I'm going to do that with the next one. And then you have to decide how close you want to put your next tassels, because you could put them really tight and have a more narrow tree, or you could kind of pull them apart a little bit and have a little bit of a wider tree. As we go into the next levels, you're going to kind of stagger them a little bit, so you'll cover up some of the holes that are created by the tops of your tassels. Just like that, and you're just putting some glue right there and sticking them down.
Caitlin, do you have any pre-made in the darker green?
This one?
Uh-huh. People were just wondering what it would look like to mix and match green colors. Have you done that?
I have never done that, but that would be really cool. Like, look, you could do that, and then you could put another row on top. That would look really awesome. That's a great idea. I love that. I'm going to keep going, though, with just the single color since I only have one of these right now. But that would look really cool to kind of mix and match the colors. That's a great idea, whoever was thinking that. I like that. When you get to the next row here, I am going to start in the middle because now I want to layer them in between. And I want to kind of go over them, but only enough that I'm covering that very top part of the tassel. So you have the overlay, but yet you're still getting some height there that you might want. And so that's really it. I mean, when you think about a holiday project that you might need quickly, maybe you're going for a party that you got invited to, maybe you remembered, oh, I have a teacher, oh, the bus driver, oh, the hairdresser, I don't know, whatever. This is going to be a really great project to quickly put together. And it's really just gluing everything together and making those tassels that kind of is taking the time.
Well, and I think I had no idea how simple this was, like based on what it looks like and what you were showing. I was like, oh, that's pretty intense. And a lot of people in the chat too are like, I had no idea that it was that easy.
Which makes it really great. Again, you know, I actually have had my kids help me make this. Now they don't do the glue part, I do that. But like they use their fingers to make the tassels and help tie it together. They find the sticks for me. They help do the painting. I've also done it where I've done it on a canvas and I've done like a buffalo check pattern to it. That looked really cool as well. So there's so many different backdrops that you can do for this project.
Yeah. Right as you're saying that, there's people being like, you could do whatever as the background, right? Like Rebecca says, she's having a vision of a cross-stitched background with
that would be
overlaid.
Awesome.
Yeah, that would be cool.
So then you just put your star at the top. And again, you can kind of pick a different size. I went with a little bit smaller for this one as opposed to the first one. You can see this one's a little bit larger, but that's good. Whatever works. Now make sure you have your words the right direction. Don't like glue it on the wrong way because that would totally be something I would do. And you could use like a wood glue if you wanted to. I'm just going to use hot glue because that's what I have right now. And I'm just kind of putting it in a couple different places. You don't have to like get it everywhere on the back of here. It's still going to stick well, even if you're not kind of getting it all over. But yeah, I mean, it's really like that simple. I mean, if you're a teacher, you could actually even do this like with your class maybe. And just help them with the gluing depending on what their age is and everything. But yeah, and there you go. Like it's that simple.
Incredible.
Isn't that great?
I love that so much.
This is the horizontal and this is the vertical. So you have lots of options of what you can do with this. I mean, you could also go ahead and like paint this if you wanted to, or I have some like holly berries here that you could go ahead and like add in. There's so much extra you could do here. I do want to say too, if you're going to use something like this, that's like a cutout for scrapbooking, I highly recommend getting one of these foam stickers to just bring it up off the paper a little bit rather than just using like regular tape for it.
That's awesome. We had one question. Where did you get the wood cut out?
The wood cutout, I think this one, the larger one, I actually got at Dollar Tree as well. This one, I don't know. I got it at some craft store, but I don't remember which craft store. I actually think too, this one I might have gotten during like the 4th of July and stuff when they have that kind of
Okay.
decor out. This one I know I definitely got at Christmas time that they have.
And then what about the one that says Merry Christmas on it?
Yeah, this one I also got at a craft store and it was one of their ornaments. So it came with like twine and stuff. So you could kind of cover up that hole if you want to. It doesn't really bother me, so I would just leave it there. But yeah, you have to just kind of look around or maybe on Etsy you can find something that people do the cutouts and whatnot. But really, it was an ornament that I just picked up and that's what I used.
Wow, that's beautiful.
So yeah, guys, super simple, super quick, makes a great gift. Like it's a handmade gift that you can say, "Oh, I made that." And it looks like it takes a lot of time and it really doesn't. Like you can do this so quickly once you get all your materials together. And I love that idea of mixing like different colors to kind of get that look. You could also mix your colors in making each tassel. If you hold 2 colors at a time and wrap it, then your tassel itself would have multiple colors instead of just a different color for every layer.
Wow, that's very cool. I'm wondering who's crafting along with us. Is anyone crafting along, or are we waiting for the replay, trying to scan the camera?
Um, I'm trying to see if anybody's coming
Right.
up. Oh,
I'm
they
like
go so fast.
scrolling
They go
through.
so fast. I'm still
Crafting,
cutting
still
yarn. Well,
crafting.
that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yep. Given they didn't have ten ready, all the tassels
Right.
made, but
Well, I figured nobody wanted to watch me just wrap it around my fingers, so I did
at
that
times
beforehand.
we're well prepared.
Yeah.
Yes.
And two, like that's one of the really great things. Like if you are going to do this and you know you're going to have like a couple that you're making, batch it all together. Sit down and make all of your tassels at once. Once you know the size that you're making, you might have to make one and kind of play around with it. But then if you're kind of doing them all similar, you could just do all your tassels at once and kind of get them done.
Definitely. Would you mind showing one more tassel just to
Yeah.
have just the
Yeah.
making of one more? It could even be in front of the camera that we have pulled up
Yeah.
right now.
So what I'm going to do is let me grab this. Yeah, that'll work. I'm going to grab 2 colors. I'll show you how to do it as like a 2-color tassel. Hold on. Let me find the end of my yarn here. It's a little, I was using this to make another Christmas tree. So it's a little like bunched up here, but that's okay. Okay. So I have 2 colors and I'm going to hold them at the same time. And I'm just going to start. Let me put this down here. And you're just going to put them together. Now, I'm choosing to do just 3 fingers. You could do 4 fingers. You could do your whole hand. You could go 2 fingers. Depends on what you're looking for. And like I said, I wrapped mine 11 times around my fingers. But if you want it fuller, go more. If you want it less full and you want to just make more tassels, go ahead and do that too. Now I have a knot.
So with the 2 yarns, would you do half the amount of wraps or same and it would just be double thick?
I'd probably still end up doing the same. Again, I just kind of look at it on my fingers, and when I go, oh, that looks good, we're good. So all I did is I just wrapped it around my fingers as many times as I wanted, and I'm just going to cut it. And then for this case, you could pick either one of the colors to tie around. And you just take a long strand of it, right, to tie this. And I'm going to pinch it here at the top to pull it off of my fingers. And you can kind of like squeeze it together if you want. Now, I would do this laying on a table because it's a little bit easier, but you could do it holding it up. And you're just going to put the yarn here around the top. All right, I have to put it down to tie it because I need 2 hands to tie. But basically, I'll show you in just a sec. You'll see. You're just tying a knot. at the top. And again, I'm trying to get it as close as I can. Doing it on my leg is a little bit harder. But so you'll have a little section at the top and a longer section at the bottom from where you cut it. And then all you need to do is cut off those ends from where you tied. And then you stick your scissors right here through these loops. Like, see how the loops for my finger, I just put it right there and I just snip it. And I just make sure I go through and I get all of the loops. And then, oops, there's a long piece. Let me cut that off. That'll bother me. You can kind of trim it up a little bit. But then you've got a cute little tassel.
Wow.
And that would be like a double colored one if you wanted to do that.
That's cool. I don't know why I never would have thought of doing the multi-color, but of course you can do that, right?
Yeah.
You get so crafty and creative with it all.
Yeah, I love it. You know, I also want to say too, like I know I've been working on a bunch of tree stuff around my house. Think about putting in blue. Think about putting in gray. Like those make really great colors too for trees. It doesn't just have to be green. If your favorite color is purple, make a purple tree. Like it's so beautiful to see all the different colors.
I love that. I'm sure it will be fun to see what everyone else does with this idea and how they make it their own. So
Yeah.
I was asking if there's an email they could send it to. I, of course, go to social media. Like, of course, please tag us in social media, both Create Room and what would be best crochet.com to
Yeah.
tag or all three. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What's
That would
your
be great.
social media handle? I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, so we have crochet.com. We also have Knit Picks, but it's just our brand name is what you're searching for, and we'll come up on all of the different platforms.
Okay. So it should be easy enough to find.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So yeah, please. I mean, I would love to see them. I'm sure you would love to see them, Caitlin, too, just to see what everyone
Yes.
comes up with and all the many, many variations that there will
I
be.
can't wait to see.
Very cool. Well, I see someone asking about what the storage slash furniture desk is behind us. So that could be a good lead in. But is there anything else you want to say about the craft itself before we move on to the dream box?
No, I mean, just remember, like, yes, we did a larger frame here, but you could make this smaller if you want to. I mean, really, you could even do this on the front of a bag and then give that as a gift, you know? That's a great blank canvas. You could do it on a card. Like this is a worsted weight yarn, but think about using like a fingering weight yarn or some thread or something like that. You could make it a lot tinier and put it on a card too. There's so many ways you could use this technique to make something fun for the holidays.
Yes. Well, that's incredible. Well, thank you again for that. Everyone's creative juices are flowing, and I'm sure you're reading the comments, but it just, I don't know, it always makes my night to see how inspired people can be. And it's just so fun to craft as a community and come together like this. So thank you again.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, maybe can I ask you about your dream box now?
You sure can.
Hey.
Okay, so this is the Dreambox 3, and I'll be honest, at first I was like, okay, so how are we going to get this to actually hold all of my crafting stuff? Because I know we talked yesterday about it. I don't know anybody who just does one craft anymore. And so you really want it to be a place that can have everything, have it right in arm's length. I know we talked about too, if you can't see it and it's not organized, you end up buying 500 of the same thing because you don't know. I said I filled up an entire tote over there of just like twine because I didn't realize I had so much of it. Like I have enough for eternity to last me. But what I love about it is I can really put in all of my crafting stuff, but yet also have yarn for not just crafting, not just like these balls of yarn to make a project like this, but over here, I also have a drawer of like my blocking stuff. So when I need to block a project, I can just pull this out and go, and I know I have everything all together. I also put in these baskets, which don't come with your dream box. It's just something else I had in my house. And it makes it really great place to store my yarn and things like that. And like up at the top, I have two projects that are going to be next on my list. And so it has my pattern, it has my yarn, it has the hook that I need to use, and it's just there that I can grab it when I'm ready for it. And I just absolutely love that, and how everything is just right there that I can reach and grab, but yet it all closes up so nicely that I don't have to look at it when it's a mess, or, it at least all has a spot to go back. So hopefully it won't be a mess anymore.
I love that. And what do you have on to your left on that
Over
side?
here.
Yes.
So these are actually ball jars that I put all my wooden beads in.
Okay.
And so like I'll use these, I'll make different crochet pieces, and then I'll make like a bunting with it. And then I'll put the wood beads on the end of them. Or I'll also use them like when I do ornaments, and then I'll put a couple on the string that I'm going to use to hang on the tree, just to add something a little extra. But yeah, I just figured I'd put them in these ball jars. They'd look really nice and be able to keep them all organized by size.
Yes. Yes. We talked a little bit about this yesterday and how you're still kind of deciding where things want to go. So I saw like the question, how many times did you rearrange items before you found the best location?
I mean, honestly, I don't think I found the best location for everything just yet. That is one of the great things about the Dream Box. I mean, even to these shelves here, they just come in and out easily. Like, not that they're going to fall out or anything like that, but it's just an easy process to do it, that I can keep changing things. That if I decide, oh, I need an extra drawer because I have way too much of this, I can pull one out, put an empty one back in, move my shelves around. But yeah, I think I've like rearranged things at least 5 times, and I'm still not sure this is it. Like, as I start to use it, I'm like, oh, wait, this should come lower, this should go higher, like all those things.
Yes. I think we talked about it a little bit yesterday too, but I had mentioned how I get to film a lot of creators and them at their dream boxes. And a common thing they always mention is similar to what you're saying. Like you do kind of just move it around as your crafting needs
Mhm.
change, like when you're really into yarn, for example, maybe all your yarn will take center stage in the middle of the dream box, or
Right.
when you're going to switch over and do more sewing or paper crafts, like maybe you'll move those totes in and
Mhm.
swap some others out to the less like used areas of your dream box, and
Right.
that's part of the greatness of it.
Yeah, no, I really do love that, because like I used the one in view tote for all my stuff, but now that like this project is, let's say, done and I'm not going to make anymore, I can put it back in and start using it for something else, which is also really great. Or I can shift it around, just like you're saying, depending on what I'm choosing to craft at that particular moment.
Yep. We got two questions about our sweaters. One, did you make yours?
Well, no, but yes. Like I didn't personally make it. This was a sample from one of our patterns that we have on the site. So when we're done with kind of our samples, we get to keep some of them, or like we have like a sample sale. So I didn't technically make this one. I mean, I could have, but I didn't. But
Could have
Stacy
though.
might be able to put the link in for us if anybody is interested in grabbing it. It's like a big poncho thing. I just love it. Like throwing it on today, it was so cold. It's a great extra layer.
Is Yeah, it's cold here in Utah too. My cardigan is not too thin. I'm a little cold, but that's not
Yeah.
unusual for me.
Yeah.
I need a warm one like yours.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I might show a little bit of this dream box here behind me because we have
Yeah.
something new. I don't know if you're super familiar with Dreambox and Create Room, you may be able to tell what is new on the Dreambox, but if not, I'll show you. So let me see. Can you see my screen okay? Caitlin, like if I'm pointing out stuff over here, or do I need to
Yep,
move?
you're good.
Okay. All right. So
Oh,
this.
somebody guessed it.
Oh yeah, someone did guess it. Yes, it is the pegboard. Wow. Yeah. So this whole swing door is filled with pegboards. So there's 5 individual pegboards. Up top, these are super nice. You can fold your thread. So there's these C clamps that you can put in horizontally to hold thread like this, or you can put them in vertically and it will hold things like vinyl, wrapping paper, um, yeah, longer items. And it also is compatible with other pegboard accessories. Like this is just an accessory from IKEA that can attach on.
Nice.
Um, so in there we have, yeah, little scissors, thread cutter, and then there's also, I think these are my favorite. These are just individual peg. They're just pegs that stick out so you can organize all of your spools. Um, I personally love it. It's so satisfying to look at. And we
Yeah.
had one of our founder, Yvonne, come in yesterday to just do the filming of like the product launch. And she was telling us all about how, how useful it is if you're a sewer, perhaps even a knitter. I'm sure you could come up with different things you can store there. We have scissors up there. So just one more thing to add to the wide array of getting organized for crafting.
Yeah. I mean, I see a couple questions coming in. Somebody asked about they got the pre-assembled box or the pre-assembled dream box, and so what's the difference? And good for you. That was a great upgrade to do. I did not do that. I did the DIY version. And I mean,
That
it
though,
wasn't like it was hard. It just took time and, just making sure everything was in the proper place and everything. So good for you that it's pre-assembled. You're going to save yourself a lot of time because it comes like this section will come done for you. You're just like putting it together and then figuring out where you want all your drawers. So good job.
yes, yeah, pre-built. It does save. It, the main thing is time.
Yeah.
It's when you have to build it from scratch. It is just a very big time investment, but in the end, the grand scheme of things, worth it, right? When you have your
Yeah.
dream box.
Yes.
Um,
And plus, you won't do what I did. The door over here, I had to do twice because I flipped the thing upside down. And then when I got to the bottom section, I was like, wait, there's no hole for me to put that into. And I did pretty much most of this myself. And I called my husband. I'm like, please do this. I can't. Like, I'm gonna cry if I have to do it a second time.
I know that feeling. Like I just, please help. I just can't
Yeah,
look at this any longer.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
In our instructions, we recommend having a friend. Just
Yeah,
bring a friend along for setup day because it's a big piece of furniture.
yeah,
It's not just a side table or anything. It's a big
yeah.
thing to do.
But I also felt like it was part of the journey. Like I put it together, I could think about things while I was doing it. I don't know. I enjoyed putting it together, but if I had to do it again, I think I'd go pre-built.
I'm seeing a couple questions. I'll just answer really quick. One is about how do the doors move on carpet? If it's super shaggy carpet, sometimes it's hard to move. But if it's lower carpet, it moves just fine. The wheels are pretty nice, especially on wood. You could be moving it room to room every day. It's pretty easy to move on wood. Carpet is a little bit harder, but you're able to unless it's super shaggy. Do you have carpet in your room?
I don't. I have a hardwood floor, but I do have like an area rug down. And I did have to change my area rug. And the only reason was because the one door would kind of fall off the edge of the area rug. So I just kind of readjusted the rug so it didn't do that. And I don't have a problem. The only problem was just because it would go over and then have to come back up. And once it's full, it gets heavier. But so since I adjusted it, I have no problems with being able to roll it on the area rug. But you're right, it's a thinner rug. I don't know that it would work as well on like a really plush living room rug or something like that. But you could do probably one of those roller mats that they have for chairs, like your office chair. You might be able to put something like that underneath it, and that would make it really easy to roll.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Shauna, it is on rollers. Um, and someone in here was mentioning how they had theirs bolted to the wall. That is recommended for safety, especially if you have kids who might be leaning on the table. You just want to avoid that. So you're supposed to attach it to your wall unless you plan to move it. If you were, say, moving different houses, I would say it's easier probably to take apart than it is to put together because once you get your supplies out, it could be taken apart into the three sections, middle, side, and side. Um,
Yeah. And
I haven't
speaking of
personally
that,
had to move it though, so I can't speak from experience.
yeah, I would never, no, it's going to just stay with the house. No, but like you're saying about the sections, I do want to call out because anybody who kind of came here maybe from our side of things and doesn't know about the Dreambox, I am so excited too. I've been following Dreambox for a long time, and the fact that now with the Dreambox 3, you can start with just the center console is such an amazing thing. And I really like it because you can have the table for crafting, fold it up, close the doors, and be done. But yet you don't have all of this extra if it's A, not in your budget, or B, you don't have enough stuff to fill it. I mean, who wouldn't have enough? I don't know. But anyway, like you have the option to kind of grow with it. And it's just a beautiful piece that you can start with to keep things organized, especially if you have a small space.
Oh yeah. That's probably like the announcement of the year for us is that you can finally start smaller and let it grow with you with
Yeah.
your crafting needs and, get a feel for what the Dreambox can do and then grow from there.
Yeah. I
Um,
do want to make sure, though, too, that we talk about because I know we've reached out to our connecting thread side, which are sewers and quilters, that it's not just the dream box that you guys have. You also have the sew station, which allows you to put your sewing machine on it and it'll lift and raise. So you can have a beautiful tabletop and still have your sewing machine kind of tucked away, which I think is an amazing piece of furniture as well. If that's your craft and you don't want all of this, there's still that beautiful sew station.
yes, absolutely. If I had one ready and available, I would show it. But sometimes
Yeah.
on these Creator Club events, we do show those types of things. So hopefully you guys can keep coming and get to see
Yeah.
one or check out, our website. We'll have all of the information on the Sew Station, Dream Station, etc.
Yes,
So
there's so
yes,
many options.
yes, there are many options. The Dream Box is kind of the staple kind of standout piece usually that people see first, but yeah, we have more as well.
Oh, somebody said they're eagerly awaiting their sew station.
Ooh,
Yay!
congrats. Congratulations. I know I saw a couple people earlier too waiting on the Dream Box and so exciting. Hopefully it comes in time for Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, somebody said is this the Hugo poncho? It might be. Guys, I really should have checked what the pattern name was, and I totally forgot to do it. And I think Stacy might be having a problem finding it. Sorry, Stacy. Yeah, she goes, yes, you should have. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I'll see if we can get it like posted on social media or something
Here we go.
when we find out.
Yeah. Well, I think I want to switch over to a grid view so that we can take a selfie together. Kaylee, are you ready for that? Okay. So if you have your camera off and would like to be included in the picture, if you turn your camera on, we'd love to see you. We'll go into grid mode, hopefully, so we can all see each other. It usually takes a while because we have to do like 5 screenshots. I'll tell you when to smile. You don't need to do it yet.
Good, because my cheeks were starting to hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. You can relax. We're ready. Okay, Katie says we're ready. So smile. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1 second. Tell me when. Sorry, guys. Okay, smile. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more. Yeah, it's fun to see everyone. What a fun group we have. Last one. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we're getting towards the end of our event, and Katie told me that we came up with a question that will enter you to win our giveaway. Do you want me to read off the question, Caitlin, or would you like to
Yes,
ask?
I want to make sure we get it right. I might forget exactly what we said.
Okay. So what we want to know to be entered in the giveaway, what was your favorite handmade gift to either give or get over the years? So what was your favorite handmade gift to get or give? Especially, I mean, that fits kind of what we did tonight with the gift making. And Caitlin, while people are answering, do you have a favorite gift that you've made or received over the years?
Okay, so my favorite handmade gift that I've ever gotten is my husband's grandmother. We had gone to a craft show together, and I found this like Christmas tree that was like buttons and embroidery, and I loved it, and I didn't get it. And she surprised me with it. And
Well,
well, like she made her own version of it for me. And like I'm very sentimental, and it was even better because she took an old like cheesecloth from her grandmother and made it on there. So like it is so, so special to me. And I love it every year, and it's just amazing.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Aw,
What
I
about
love
you?
okay, mine was actually from someone I got to film. Her name is Nikki, and she made me, have you heard of exploding boxes?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I received an exploding box from her, and and I think the idea came from Jennifer Maker, if I remember right. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, like this box that looks like a box, but then you take the lid off and then it opens up, and then there's another box and it opens up, and each layer has like special, just encouraging messages or like cute pictures. And she handpicked all the designs to kind of match
Oh,
the vibe of me that she got from me from like when we
that's
got to work together.
awesome.
And I was like, wow, that's so kind. Yeah. So that would be mine.
That's awesome.
Um, I loved seeing all these. I wish I could read every single one of these.
I know they fly so fast. Some of them I can read.
Yeah, some of them I can read too, but the overall message I'm getting is that everyone has either given or received a very special handmade gift, and more of that. More of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
um, Before we announce who the winner is, because I want to still, it seems like people are still answering the
Yeah.
question. We both have special offers to give to anyone who's viewing this live. So maybe I'll share the Create Room special offer first, and then you can share
Perfect.
the crochet.com one. So with code Craftmas, so CRAFTMAS, you can get $350 off the Dreambox. So that is a pretty big discount. So that's code Craftmas, and that's valid until the 18th. So you've got 6 days. Does that start today? So that is live. So if you have been thinking about buying a Dreambox, now would be a great time to use that code and just
Yeah.
give it a shot. And
Yeah.
maybe it will change your life. We'll see.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us about your discount?
Yep. So we are using the same code Craftmas. So Craftmas, all one word, I guess. Or you can shop on Connecting Threads and you will get 20% off.
20% off. That's perfect.
Yeah.
And just in case, I mean, it's a somewhat simple code, but we will be sending all the code and discount information out in the email tomorrow as well. So don't feel like you need to jot it all down. We'll remind you, but yeah. Um, okay, I think everyone has answered. We will pull our winner. Let me just tell you about what the giveaway is first. Um, just as a recap, we're giving away a $150 Create Room gift card plus a $150 gift card to use at crochet.com or Knit Picks or Connecting Threads.
Yeah.
So
So what the winner will have to decide from our end is, do they want all $150 for one of our stores, or do they want to do $75 for Connecting Threads and $75 for one of our yarn stores? So you can either do one lump sum, or you can split it in half if you want to shop both yarn and fabric. So we
yeah,
have some options.
that's incredible. Yeah, so thank you everyone for being here, entering, supporting our brands. Like, we obviously love them, and it's great to have such a solid community that does too. And without further ado, I think I'm just gonna say who wins. So yeah, drum roll, like Deanna says. Our winner is Hannah Lee, who answered her favorite gift to give or be given was a knit snowman decorations. So
Oh, that's so
huge,
sweet.
huge congratulations, Hannah. Can't
Is
wait
she
to,
here?
yeah, let's see if she is. I'm assuming she is. Hannah, if you're here, let us know.
I'm
She must
watching.
have been just a second ago to answer.
Yeah, everybody's like, congratulations, congratulations. It's like flying by.
Yeah.
Yay, Hannah.
We will be. Okay, so Hannah, we will be reaching out to you and
Oh,
you can
great.
let us know. Yeah. You can let us know how much she wants for whether it's all three separated out or just one of your
Perfect.
websites. Yes. Um, do you want to just before we head off, like log off, just remind us again where we can find you?
Sure. So you can search for us on our website, on all the social media. So you can look for Connecting Threads. That is our quilt and thread shop. You can search for Knit Picks. So and KNITPICKS. That is our knitting shop. And then we also have crochet.com, which is going to be all of your crochet needs. And so you can kind of shop all over, sign up for our newsletter, things like that, so you don't miss out on what's going on.
Yes, perfect. And for the Create Room side of things, you can find us at createroom.com or on Instagram, it's Create Room Co. Um, Again, a simple Google search will probably find everything you need for both
Yeah.
of all the sites. Caitlin, thank you again for doing this and hosting such a great craft and getting
Yeah.
excited about gift giving. Yeah, we really appreciate it.
This was so much fun. And I'd love to see pictures, tag us in it, and also let us know how many you made because I want to know. I mean, I think I might make 5 more and start gifting it out to everybody.
I mean, if you can make them that fast, like you might as well. They're
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks again. And thank you everyone for joining. We hope to see you at the next Creator Club event. So we will sign off. Good night and happy holidays.